I just had your audio, but it's all good. Oh my goodness. It doesn't have. Oh no. What the heck? It only has. It looks like the broadcast was deleted on Facebook. Just to remove the destination. Remove. Delete on Facebook. Remove. Save changes. Oh Lord. I can't even believe it. Jennifer could see us. Oh man. Oh, are we on? Can you guys see us? Somebody say yes. We see you both. What a terrific day. Great to see you. We see you. All right. Yay. Don't put me in charge. All right, you guys, I'm coming off of an exciting week in Las Vegas. I lost my voice a little bit because we were at some phenomenal events and the music was really loud. And so there was a lot of activity. So thank you for being all here today. This is such an honor to do our very first worldwide annual sit down. And I just want to thank the World Health Organization for making mental health a global prioritization, just like we all are here at JOYELY. So today we have our amazing guest with us today, Deanna Leonard. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
And you are in Atlanta today, is that right?
I am.
Very cool. So good to see you. So Deanna and I have been working together about 3 months, and she and I have learned the Chair of Joy experience together. We've been working and coaching together, and I've watched her change and grow. So before I get into what we're all doing here, Deanna, if you could just introduce yourself and your experience so far with the Chair of Joy.
Sure, I'm happy to. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. So my name is Deanna Leonard. I have been a corporate exec for most of my life. My parents would say basically from birth, I've been running things. I am the SVP of Marketing and Customer Service here at Encompass, and we are in the healthcare sector. So you can just imagine how crazy and up and down life has been during the pandemic. We are one of the providers of PPE of all things. So it has been quite a ride for us here at this company. Um, from an anxiety and worry perspective, I never really suffered from that until recently, until everything that happened during the pandemic. And I noticed myself change quite a bit, and I noticed my team change, and I noticed even going to the grocery store has changed. People are just on edge. So luckily, I found actually the COO of JOYELY, Jennifer, who introduced me to Cheryl, who has taught me quite a bit on how to manage it and how to change that in a pretty quick fashion. And I've had some amazing results, which I think she wants me to talk about a little bit.
Let's talk about the results in just a little bit. I just want to make a little statement, blanket statement to all of our JOYELY people that are listening and watching today. You've all been very important to the conversation and bringing the idea or the concept of the Chair of Joy movement to all 8 billion people across the planet. I'm extremely passionate in that sometimes I think we have what drives us or what's important or what gives us passion and what gets results a little upside down. So for most of my life, I have been very successful at many things. I've also not been successful. I've also had great times. I've lived in many places all over the United States and have traveled to many different parts of the world. And I've also had a lot of trauma and tragedy, right? So there's a mixture of it all. And what's great is I finally have gotten to a place where I know, like me and one out of 8 people, so me and 8 other people, there's some mental health issues going on with so many of us. And like Deanna said, during the pandemic, it only seems to be on the rise, which doesn't make any sense to me with our technology, our understanding, our consciousness training. Why is this on the rise? It makes no sense. And the only thing that I can think of, and the thing that I've spent my entire life on over 30 years, is to listen to people, to interview people, and to understand that when we make this one thing a priority, our lives can get back on track. And it doesn't mean we don't get to feel all the anxiety that Deanna talked about, and the worry and the chaos and the confusion, because that makes us human. Right, Deanna? If we didn't have all that, we wouldn't be human beings.
Absolutely.
So I think a lot of us beat ourselves up for that. I know I did for so many years, and I would disappear sometimes for days and weeks and months at a time because I didn't know how to show up anymore, and I just couldn't find my way back. And when I did come back, people are like, "What happened to you?" You know, and I'm like, "I think I was just scratching my head and trying to figure it out. I don't know." But now, when those things happen, and I think about fear in three ways. So I would like to share those with you. One is very interpersonal, which is fear of Armageddon, or alien invasion, or things like that. And then personal fear, which is things that we cause in our life that are really big and chaotic, like bankruptcy and climate change and those kinds of things. And there's also the self sabotage fear, is what I call it, which is, we ate too much chocolate, and we have anxiety issues because we have a relationship that's upside down, and all of those things. So the idea is that we do get to have all those emotions. And look at me, I could be very stressful right now because my battery is going out, and I've been doing so many lives that my cord fell out. So there we go, we're back in business, we're good. So the idea is that when we can figure out a way to get back to the thing, right, Deanna, as quick as possible, because we're busy people, we're busy women, we've got busy men and women, we've got things to do in the world. So why do we let ourselves get stuck? So no more, no more, no more. We can feel better in 60 seconds if you have a chair of joy. So I'd love everybody to sit down. This is the best part. I always say you will remember where you were when you receive your chair of joy. So wherever you are now in the world, and hopefully there's people here from all over the world, it will be like your first kiss, right, Deanna? You will know where you were when you received your chair of joy. So I want you all to take a moment and look around your space where you currently are. And I want you to look for a place that you can call a safe space, away from your office, or away from the busy traffic of the house or the home or the office. So in the cafeteria, or down the hall, or in the closet. Some people have a stool in the closet. Maybe it's a bench on the back porch, or it could be all different kinds of places that you can just take a moment. For me, I love to sit in my chair of joy, which is in my vehicle. I go out there often during the day if it's bad weather, or I sit out on my yellow chair on the deck. Deanna, where is your chair of joy?
Right now, it's in the dining room while we're redoing our house, my office. It's going to end up in my office.
Very cool. So I want us all to just remember that this is a very quick and fun and easy process. And it's something that we do. This experience is something that we do, some of us 4 or 5 or even 10 times a day. It just all depends on what's going in our life. If you're smooth sailing and you're checking all the boxes and getting all the to-dos knocked off your list, great. Some days are more complicated, where you're scratching your head and you don't quite have it all figured out, and you feel like you just want to crawl under the covers, or take a vacation and never come back. Like, those are very common things. So my ask today for you is to go to your chair of joy. And if you close your eyes during this next 60 seconds to 90 seconds, it really, really is more powerful and more impactful. So I want to recognize that we are doing our first annual chair of joy sit down. So everybody, if you could just please stand up for just a second, and then sit down physically in your chair of joy with me, and feel the energy of that as we do it together. There is more power in groups. There is more power when we're all on the same page. And it's a lot of fun, actually, to play together. So that's the first step, is to sit. Number 2 is to take some deep breaths. So deep breath in. And we like to do ocean breaths. So listen to the sound of the wave in your head if you can. So 6 seconds in. Hold it for 6. And exhale for 6. And one more time. And as you're doing these deep breaths, I want you to think of a word, of some sort of emotion or feeling that you're having coming into this experience. So maybe you're like, Cheryl told me I have to come to this thing. I got so many other things to do. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's anxiety. Maybe it's like, what is she going to ask me to do? So there's a little fear. Or maybe there's just, something going on in the back of your mind that's causing you to not focus. So whatever that is, just give it some attention. And breathing is the best part, right? Isn't it? So one more deep breath. And whatever all that stuff is that we just mentioned, let it all just fall to the ground. And as you're sitting in your chair of joy, recognize that your chair is holding you. It's a safe place. And all the things that are giving you angst in the moment are falling to the ground. And I like people to just roll their neck from side to side and really just give yourself permission to be in this safe space together with us and taking a moment of a quiet, quick break. And then the third step is to think. So there's 4 steps: sit, breathe, think. And the think is my favorite. The think for me is to celebrate something that's happened in the past or that's coming up in the future. So I want you to think of that moment for yourself. Something that you love, something that you celebrate, something that's working, something that feels good. Ah, I can feel the collective of you tapping into that one thing, and it's very, very powerful. I can feel celebration. I can feel excitement for something that happened over the weekend. I can feel passions and dreams coming true. I can feel the joy of just being together in this group today, which is plenty, which is plenty. It's plenty. It's enough. It's enough. It's good enough. And just place yourself into that movie if you can, and see yourself actually eating the food or interacting with the people and having receiving the award or whatever it is again. And drop your shoulders again and just let yourself just relax. And put a smile on your face when you have that moment. And I want you to take that moment and let it roll through your bodies. I sometimes pat my shoulders or my chest or the top of my head or wave my hands around to get that feeling of coming together, that feeling of celebration to kind of just roll through your whole body. You should be able to feel goosebumps or even the hair standing up on the back of your neck. And just let that roll through your body. And take one more deep breath and open your eyes whenever you're ready. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's it. That's the Chair of Joy experience. And we're going to end with Deanna sharing a quick testimonial about this success in your life, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. So, did you ever have one of those mornings where you woke up anxious because you knew what was ahead for the day? I have those quite often. But this was one particular day where I woke up very anxious and was sending myself a bit into a spiral. I was working from home that day, and I had a big meeting that afternoon, and I had to share some bad news about sales. I was not looking forward to it. And I could feel myself kind of going out of control. By the third time I passed my chair of joy in the dining room, it called to me and said, "Why don't you sit down for a minute?" So I did the exercise, and it literally transformed my entire mood and my entire persona. And I went to that meeting with a very different outlook. Instead of being anxious and nervous and full of bad news, I was full of, here are the facts. Here's what we're doing about them. And here's why we're excited to continue the partnership. And that meeting was probably one of the easiest, best meetings I'd had in a long time. And at stake, so you guys can have a feel for what was really at stake, was $7 million. So it was a big deal for my company and for me. So that's my professional side of the Chair of Joy. My personal side is I've been on a journey for quite a while now about transformation, transforming my body and my health. I'm down this morning, which is what I celebrated just now in the Chair of Joy. I'm down 56 pounds and off all medication related to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all that good stuff. So they're all kind of tied up together and just making a huge difference in my life. And I'm so grateful to have met everyone involved with Chair of Joy. It's just been amazing.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And I would like everyone to just hear what Deanna has to say and how she is practicing her chair of joy. She also has lots of other networking groups and professional organizations and coaching that she's part of, and she makes the chair of joy a priority. So it isn't just the thing or a process or a tool. It's actually become part of your life. It's an integral part of manifesting and creating results and success. So you use yours 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times a day, like I do. I know you do. And many of the people on the call I know are using it that much as well. This has got to be our priority. And that's what World Health Organization Mental Health Day is all about, is prioritizing this feeling better, not back burner, not one day, not because you're indecisive, but because you're aware that feeling better will help you make those decisions quicker and easier, so that not only you get to benefit, but everybody who you're trying to serve. There's so many people that you're trying to serve that you can't serve unless you're being your best self. So my ask is, if you could type in the comments your word that you're feeling now at the end of the Chair of Joy experience, how you're feeling. Teresa, thank you for being here, who's been so integral in helping us create the Sit, Breathe, Think, Feel. And Lynn, for feeling better now and making it happen in 60 seconds, just making it easier and easier and easier every day as we move through. And Nicole, you've taken us to Paris, France, and Michelle, so very exciting to have you all here today. So I wanted to keep it short, and that's it. That's our first annual Chair of Joy Sit Down. Deanna, thank you again for being part, and we'll talk to you all again very soon. Don't forget, you can join us on J Hour every Monday. We have our VIP events, and for those of you that want lots of support in this process and a community that's over the moon. And of course, we have all of our corporate events that we're taking this to healthcare across the nation. Thank you again, and see you very soon. We loved having you here.